Hi, Kimmie. It's Ashley here. Thank you for sharing your discussion. It was interesting hearing your the people that you chose to interview, the three different counselors that you had chose. You can tell they were related to something that you're interested in, because you had chose three secondary, but they were all different. One was career, and you had mentioned that two of the schools had the same demographics, but their answers were a little different. And I interviewed two elementary counselors and one middle school counselors, because those are the areas I'm interested in. So it's interesting hearing your responses, and I love the way that you constructed your questions, and how you elaborated on them. So let me just go ahead and just read off my notes that I have here. So I like how you had designed your questions based off of the Texas model as a whole, and how you wanted to see how the counselors spent their time. And I was also listening to Isabel's discussion, and she also did mention this too, that she wanted to know how she spent and divided their time, evaluated their program, and look at the problems that are holding them back, which is good, and which is the whole point of having a program evaluation, is to be able to identify problems, things are that are setting you back, things are propelling you forward. I feel like it's good to ask these questions to the counselors. And then, given that you had done all secondary counselors, I can see how it was a little bit easier for you to compare and contrast their responses. I'm excited to do that, those assignments next week and the following week, about when we get to present our findings from the counselors that we interviewed, because for me, there were some similarities across the board in mine, but there are also very different answers too. So I'm excited to share that. And I really love how you had mentioned about the data, how you had you wanted to know how the counselors used their data, how they conducted to find data of that's the next part. I'm sorry. The students how they're able to identify students within their data, and how they get their data, and what helps them realize what is the issue, where are students being forgotten, I guess, and not being serviced, and being that's the word, is not being serviced appropriately, and so on. And let me go to the last part here. And what are they going to do to change it? Okay. And the last part, the overall program effectiveness. I really like this one, because my coworker and I, my coworker, she's in the SBDM. She's actually the campus representative, and she's actually my team leader in pre-K3. So she's just really awesome. And she just always comes back and she tells us what is happening in the board meetings, and what's happening in those SBDM meetings, and what's going on that we don't know about, or that is gonna be able to take effect. Or she also always wants to hear our opinions and our thoughts and matters in this matter. And that's why I love having conversations with her, because she's one that she just does not that she doesn't care, but she likes to face the confrontation, and she's not afraid. Well, sometimes I tell her, I'm like, oh, you should tell them that pre-K3, because they're wanting to. Okay, I won't go into it, but so anyways, going back to what I was saying here in the overall program effectiveness, this reminded me of my coworker friend. But I love this because you're able to implement and share your findings and your successes and your setbacks in this program review, and then the data that you construct, or the counselors that are the schools we've been interviewing. And I love that you're able to use this to present to the board meetings, to the board members at board meetings, and excuse me, and SBDM meetings and things like that, because that's how we're able to make change and just have those things become aware to our leaders in our district. So I'll go ahead and stop here, and thank you for sharing, Kimmie, and I'll see you next week.